because we're displaying.
Yeah, we display the OHD stuff.
We need to get more candy in this bucket.
We need more candy.
We don't fuck these Hershey Kisses.
I'll have to get some more. I'll get some more candy tomorrow.
Put your decanter box up here.
Right now, it's holding the casting couch up because the leg fucking broke.
Fuck?
Like, I just bought this couch.
Brand new.
What the hell?
Your decanter box that Mike just got you?
Yes. I mean, it's an excellent apple box. It's solid wood.
All right. So,
Great use
Thing
of
is solid. It's holding y'all's asses up, right?
How do
Not
y'all-
wobbling.
how do y'all feel about this? Everybody ready?
Mm.
We good to
Are
go?
we running?
Check my hair and makeup.
How,
Do I look
we
good?
look gorgeous.
I got any fucking shit in my beard.
Can you see my eyes on camera?
How do I look? Gorgeous.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
so much. Yeah.
All right,
Really
good.
inspiring the confidence.
Oh yeah,
here.
that really boosted
Yeah.
my ego.
Yeah. Call this podcast low self-esteem.
low self-esteem. Whisper into the mic. Low self-esteem.
Yeah.
No, but let's dive right into it, man. Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
Alec Baldwin.
so the indictment has come down.
The gavel has been slammed.
Let's just start off with the raw nitty gritty. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like that?
I feel like he's guilty of
You
a
feel like
crime.
he's guilty?
He pulled out a gun and shot somebody with it.
He didn't
He
check
didn't
it.
pull it out, but he shot somebody with it.
He's saying
So,
he didn't check it, and he's also saying that he pulled the hammer and the hammer just went off.
yeah,
Do you how does that
No.
happen? No.
not possible. The FBI disproved that.
Yeah,
As well as like 50
Yeah, you have
million
to-
YouTubers with holding it on the video show. You can't do this.
In
physically.
order to fan it, you do have to be holding
Yeah.
the trigger.
yeah.
Yeah, the only way you could pull the hammer back and it maybe misfire is if you don't hit the first stop because there's two stops on those
Yeah, it's
old
like
Colt
click, click.
actions.
Yeah.
So if you were to pull it back before that first shot and then like your finger slips, it
Then it
might
might.
fire,
Might.
but it's not very likely.
Yeah. I
Another
don't know.
thing would be if you're holding the trigger and you're pulling it back and then let go, it's going to swing right
What
back
do you
and you're
think
definitely
about
going to
the,
shoot somebody.
armor.
That's where the responsibility lies on the as far as the studio industrial end. Like Alex Baldwin legally, again, you pull a gun out or don't pull a gun out. You point a gun at somebody else and you shoot them, you should go to prison just for killing somebody. I do think manslaughter is appropriate. I don't think he intentionally was trying to murder her.
I do think manslaughter was an appropriate charge given as though like what happened. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really super duper unfortunate for that cinematographer. Like I really feel for the cinematographer.
Dude, she lost her
that's
life.
terrible.
course.
The family of
Yeah.
the cinematographer, like, you're just there doing your job. The last thing you think about is getting shot.
Yeah. And there's so many things that people like a lot of people aren't really talking about because I guess they're not coming at it from the industry side. But like even when in your action movies, whether even a lot of times with rubber weapons, sometimes there's exceptions there,
Mhm.
but it's all camera angles. I'm never pointing it at
No.
you. It's always to the left or to the right. And, even with blanks, even rubber guns,
Right.
the only exception sometimes is with it's a floppy rubber gun, and if you're putting it to somebody's head or something like that, or
That's
a
different.
non-working prop and they're putting it to your head, they'll do shit like that. But you never point a firing blank gun at anyone
At anybody.
Ever.
Any
in any
yeah,
movie. You
nobody.
never do that.
There's never an exception for
Yeah.
that.
So so because he pointed it at her and however he fired it based on his recollection, if it weren't pointed at her, bullet or no bullet, she'd still be here with us.
Now listen to this. All right. They said the night before this happened that they were shooting live rounds off
Exactly.
out of these guns that were shooting. That were
Right.
supposedly supposed to shoot these
Yeah.
blank rounds.
They were the cast and crew were basically
having fun
having
with them.
fun on off hours shooting out in the desert or whatever. And
Now-
So that's where the mix-up likely
Possibly.
took place.
That's what they're trying to say.
Possibly.
Could be the
Okay, so
possibility.
so
That's
there,
how
have
the
y'all
live round-
have y'all heard about the multiple bullets and how all that was found? So there was one live round in the weapon.
Okay.
He had a Western belt on with the bullets, around. They were all blanks or fakes, except for one. There was one live round in his belt.
Whoa.
Then there was a live round found on a piece of equipment. And then there was the box of blank rounds, the armor's dummy kit.
Mm-hmm.
And there were, I don't know if it was 2 or 3
within that.
live rounds mixed in with the
Right.
blank
Wow.
rounds. So somehow they got distributed all over the set. I mean, obviously there's an investigation. To me, it seems like maybe from them shooting live rounds somehow
Could have got mixed.
they got mixed into the box. The armor not being a good armor
But
and doing their
that's-
job, distributed them around.
Right. I'm not saying, like, I feel like every time I've been on set, and I know this probably goes for you too, like when we're on set, like our responsibility, even as being an actor, is making sure whatever weapon they're arming us with, whether it be gun, knife, whatever, hammer, it doesn't matter, whatever the weapon may be, you make sure that it's safe.
Yes, you
For
make
your
sure it's
safe,
safe.
for your
You make sure
safety
it's
and
safe.
others
Yeah.
as well.
Once it's in your hand, it's no longer the
Yeah.
armorer's responsibility. You have it in your fucking hand.
Yeah, because they give you that gun cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. Okay, it's cold. You know it's
Yeah.
cold. They're
And
supposed
that-
to check it.
Typical, on most sets I've been on, it's gun on set. When I'm working grip and electric, usually it comes over the headpiece. Live gun is coming onto set.
Yeah.
From my team leader, from the key grip.
Everybody come around,
best
check it
boy,
out.
and say, hey, if you want to go check it, go check
Right.
it. And if you want
They
to,
usually
you go
do.
and you
Down the
you know,
barrel, they'll check
Yep.
it. They'll drop the clip,
Yep.
show you.
There's
And if-
no way that
No.
happened.
There's even times they
In
let
this
you load the
situation.
clip. You load it with your own blank rounds, where you know for sure, you're putting blanks.
Now, I don't know if I've ever heard that. Like if it's
But
a
there
blank
is
round.
times that
If there's a blank round, as I understand it, and I may be wrong. Again, I haven't been in this situation on set, but as I understand it, if a blank round is to be loaded into a firing prop weapon, that is done. They examine everybody standing around, just like
they
the safety
show, right?
checks
They're like, look,
before
blah, blah,
they
blah.
hand it to
Right.
the actor. They show dummy round.
And you can
put
tell
it
a
in.
dummy round.
Yeah,
It doesn't have a.
it looks totally
yeah,
different.
it
Yeah,
doesn't have a
it doesn't have a
projectile.
round at the end.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
have a
just capped
projectile.
off and it has a little
A shell.
wadding in there.
It's a
Yeah,
shell with
yeah.
literal powder in it.
Yeah.
Just capped off. That's
Yeah.
it. And
So the chain of events there, I mean, there's guilt spread around. From the industry standard, the armorer clearly allowed live rounds to be distributed.
right. I agree.
So the armorer, definitely criminal charge.
Yeah, I agree.
And definitely an industry strike, as in you didn't do your fucking job. I
Right.
don't want you on my set.
Oh yeah, you're blacklisted
Yeah,
at that
blacklisted.
point. Yeah, after you're
Yeah,
out of prison,
absolutely.
nobody's gonna really want to work with you
Yeah.
because they're gonna feel like
Alex Baldwin, and I think the armorer has a higher degree of like personally responsibility for Alec, because Alec's fucking idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Alec Baldwin.
he apparently
Yeah,
said he
so,
doesn't
like,
even
you
like
know,
guns. He
He
doesn't.
doesn't like guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking anti-gun guy.
Yeah, he's
So
anti-gun.
what does he know? Does he ever go to the range and
Right.
shoot live rounds and like actually get familiar with his,
Right.
with
So
his
with that being
weapons?
said, do you feel like that is still part of his responsibility?
Absolutely.
Being that he doesn't
It is.
know.
He shot
Now-
her. The
now-
armorer didn't kill her. He did.
Absolutely.
He pointed a gun with the
But
barrel pointed at her chest, and
Being
it
that
killed
he
her.
is not a gun guy, he likely doesn't have the same amount of gun knowledge when he was handed a cold gun.
I think that's why manslaughter is an
Yeah,
appropriate
but if you
charge
also
for him.
go back to,
because
like-
you just basically say he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
He trusted her,
and it's involuntary. So he
yeah,
didn't
it's involuntary
voluntarily manslaughter her. Yeah.
And I think it's at the very least the most appropriate charge
It is.
for him to have. Like he should not walk away scot free. He murdered that
No.
woman, whether or not.
I don't think
was
he should
an
get away
accident.
scot free, but I just don't think that they should. It should be as harsh as it is.
'Cause
It
when
should
you're-
be- I mean, he killed her.
When you're messing with guns, though, you say, maybe he shouldn't know because he's an actor, or maybe he shouldn't know because he's not a gun guy. But in the same
It's
sense,
not a shouldn't know. It's
Right.
didn't
You should know.
But it's also
didn't know.
But you also got to
But you should
understand
know.
that you should know because, like,
Yeah.
when you look at characters like Keanu Reeves, we just talked about him. This
Yeah.
guy educated himself on every aspect of
Yes,
that gun.
going
or
to gun ranges,
the way he
firing real
moved.
rounds.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
did all that. That's a part of the work when you're an actor. The part of the work is to educate yourself on these things so that they don't go wrong.
But then also the armor.
The armorer,
You've been on
too.
set with us. Have you
Yeah.
seen Sean Burton Saunders
Shout out to
safety
Sean
meetings?
Burton. No, I haven't. Never
Dude,
seen.
every
Yeah.
set that I do with any sort of like airsoft firing rounds, and I do remember it on sets. Maybe you weren't in the meeting, but anytime that there's a gun, he takes it out. He brings everybody. There's a safety meeting basically.
No, I was there for that.
Hey, we've got prop weapons here. These are all airsoft. So fire a few blank rounds. Like this is how it is. You do
Right.
not point these at each other. If you're not using them in a scene, you do not touch them.
Mm-hmm.
No, you are not. No one else is allowed to hand one of these off to you except for me or he might have a
Assistant,
co-armor or assistant,
right.
and say, this person, these are only two people. If you get a weapon from anyone else, don't fucking touch it.
Right.
And you go through that on this set, and you got to remember, this isn't a prop gun. It's a prop because it's a prop. It's a real Colt revolver.
Yes.
You put a bullet in it, and you're
It'll
going
fire.
to kill a bear.
Yeah. It's not stopped up. Like this is an actual 45.
Yeah.
So just the idea that a real production, and we're doing this on little micro, not even micro budget, almost no budget community films. We have safety meetings and we go over this shit. How can you be on a multi-million dollar Alec
we did it
Baldwin
on a
film
zero budget film
with an armorer?
Yeah.
And what? Nobody told him this is a real gun that can kill somebody. Do not point it at anyone else.
Yeah, you guys.
From the armorer that got the rounds mixed up, that's 100% a possibility.
I mean, of course.
I'm not saying that that's not a possibility, but it's also irresponsible on the armor's behalf to not siphon out the round, the live
worst
round.
irresponsibility they could possibly have.
That's
Somebody
what I'm
got
saying.
shot and killed on set with their weapon.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like
it's more definitely on the armorer than anybody.
Yeah.
And that's more from the industry side.
Yeah, because I just feel
from
like
the legal side and the Second Amendment side, anybody that owns guns and responsibly carries, like all that is secondary. Industrial stuff, commercial shit, that's secondary. The fact if you have a gun, that is, you only point that at somebody if you're going to kill them.
Oh,
right, if you're going to use it.
Period. You don't pull it out to threaten them. No. You don't point it at them unless you're going to fucking kill them.
So my question is, and
he did. He pointed at her
because my research into certain aspects of this is limited. Do we have an explanation on what the circumstances were behind when the shooting took place? Was it during a filming?
It was during the filming at that church.
Was he directed to point the pistol?
The cinematographer was looking for an angle with the weapon. So it was a scene, where like basically he's pulling out the gun and the camera's kind of catching that point of
foreground,
view of the gun kind of pointing, looking like it's pointing at the camera, right?
Right.
Which is it's a trick shot. If you do it correctly, the gun is never pointing at the camera.
Right.
In this case, it wasn't. It was pointed at the fucking
cinematographer, but who's also on the side of the camera.
It's worse.
Most times.
Now, whose fault is that for not lining that shot up correctly?
Alec Baldwin.
Is it?
He had the gun in his hand.
He's not in control of the camera.
Yeah, but if you're looking down, anybody that's looked down the barrel of a gun.
If you're told.
If the cinematographer tells,
right here, all you're doing is doing what you're told.
If I pull out a gun, let's say I pull out my pistol and I hand it to you.
I would say half.
But if I pull it out and I hand it to you and I say, I want you to point this at me, will you do it?
If we're doing a shot and it's supposed to be a cold weapon, yeah.
Well, then you need to take some gun safety courses. You don't. You never do. You just don't. You never do.
If you're following, all you're doing is following the instruction.
I mean, okay.
At the end of the day,
was he instructed to pull it to shoot her?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. That's why I'm asking what the circumstances of the.
That's the thing.
Unfortunately, only Alec Baldwin.
Because if all he was doing was following exact directions, I mean.
But see, I was on their set.
I understand where you're coming from too.
I've been in that situation where I've been held. I had to hold an actual gun for whatever, but we used an airsoft gun, I think, for the actual scenes where we held the gun. But even airsoft, whatever. When Sean was handing me the gun, he went through it like thoroughly. I'm talking about dropped the clip, showed you the clip was fake, showed you it's CO2, he opened up the barrel, he showed you, he showed you, racked it back, put it down, puts a flashlight, like he showed the whole shebang. Like I'm giving it to you, nothing in it, right? I'm like, yes. He's okay. When I give this to you, do not shoot it, do not click the trigger,
don't play with it, don't wave it around.
Yeah, literally stays in the holster. Right. When it's out of the holster, finger off of the trigger. Right. Same way you would handle your own weapon. I say, okay, I understand it. So you just keep your finger kind of up. You don't ever put your finger on the trigger while you're talking. Even when I'm in conversation, if you watch the film, my finger only goes there when it's needed. Right. Fingers up on the slide. Right. And that's it just comes with knowing how to control a weapon. Regardless,
that's a
if
good
you don't
armor.
like guns, and it's a great armor, and if you don't like guns, or even if you don't mess with guns, you still, if you're gonna use them at some point, or being in control of one at some point, you should educate yourself. It's like saying, I don't like cars, but I might drive one once in a while.
Yeah.
Like you still need a license. You still need to educate yourself on driving if you're going to drive a car, So.
Yeah. Or if your stunt coordinator says, hey, here, get in this car, you're going to drive off this bridge.
Yeah, like,
and then you drive that car off the bridge and perish in a fucking ball of fire. Whose fault is it?
it's the stunt coordinator because he didn't ask you if you knew, and it's also your fault.
I'm
because
going to
you
say
knew.
it's my fault.
No, listen, it's both.
Because I'm going to be like, no.
Hold on, it's both because he should know.
You
Hold
get
on,
a stunt person to
right.
do this.
But he should know that you're not qualified, on his
Exactly.
half because he's
Exactly.
giving you the keys.
Exactly.
And on your behalf, you shouldn't accept the keys if you're not qualified because that's just stupidity.
And that also brings back to comes around
Drive
back
off
to the
his bridge,
armor.
but what's down there to catch me?
Yeah. Like you should know, and it is what it is.
But it does come back to the armor, even on that example where it's like if the armor is maybe
You got the
maybe
armor,
you've got
you got
this
the
whole
DP,
situation. 'Cause
like-
there's another aspect of this, and that's that Alec Baldwin was an executive producer. He was the talent. He was the money. This is the guy you can't piss off.
Mm-hmm.
This guy can fire you.
You can't tell him what he can't do
Right.
or what he shouldn't do.
And he's also been in a fucking 100,000 movies and television shows. So like, it's possible for a naive, young, new armorer to come in and basically be intimidated from being like, Alec,
Yeah.
just assume that he's already hit. How many guns have we seen him hold over the years? He's held a lot. So
he's
like,
been in so many movies.
you might just assume,
Right.
he knows his safety shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're too intimidated to go say, hey. And then when he says, you think I don't know how to fucking handle a gun? You say, it's not my job to know whether you did know how to. It's my
Right.
job what you do from here on out.
Exactly.
Right.
But he'll fire you, so you're gone. So
yeah,
you don't.
100%. Yeah.
But
So,
at that point, at least somebody wouldn't get shot on your watch.
Yeah. And that
But-
brings it to the wider
Right.
thing. It was a hostile set. At the time of the shooting, the cast was getting ready to walk out.
Yeah.
Like there was all these disputes. Like it was not a homogenous, friendly
Setting.
workspace at that
Right.
point in time. So, it was a chain of events that happened, multiple failures. Alex Baldwin was a failure. The armor was a failure. The AD that took the weapon from the armor without
Right.
safety checking it
The
and
DP,
then handed it to Alec Baldwin
even the DP for
And
that
no
angle.
matter what,
and the cinematographer
think about
for
this
saying,
stuff.
"Hey, that looks like it's pointed at me."
in any situation, any job you take on, whether it's acting or anything in the world, safety is first.
Absolutely.
So if you don't know something and you're not sure of something, it's better to say, yo, I don't know about this, or hey, I'm not sure about this, rather
Yeah.
than saying,
Yeah, don't
it should
try
be
to-
good.
Yeah,
because
don't,
this
don't try to
person's
act like
great.
you know what you're doing and
Yeah.
let
Just-
your ego like this is your life.
Yeah, like you
These
just
are
assuming that they
weapons of
know
war.
exactly what they're doing, and you're just like, oh, it's fine. I know you know what you're doing.
I don't want to look like a noob.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
like
Fuck
negligent.
that. I will look like a noob. I will ask all the questions. I don't care.
Always.
I don't care. I will ask you a question. If I don't
Yes.
feel safe
So-
about something or if I don't know, I'm
so that-
asking somebody because I'm not going to risk my life or my livelihood or somebody else's because of a
Right.
mistake that I could possibly make because I didn't have the right
And we're
information.
not saying he's a bad actor. I think Alec
Oh, not at
Baldwin's a
all.
great actor.
no.
I just think,
No,
in
he's not
a
a bad
situation
actor.
as a
He's
human from
fucking
another
moron.
human, he neglected safety.
Yeah.
He did.
The whole-
For
the whole-
himself and other people.
Yeah.
He definitely did neglect it.
And he's the only one that can be blamed for him shooting the weapon at the cinematographer.
Right.
The armor didn't do that.
No.
The AD didn't do that. Even the cinematographer, if she saw it, so he is culpable. I don't think he's ultimately responsible for
No.
the live round being in his gun.
Now,
I
this-
think-
now,
I do
th-
think he thought he had a blank in the
This
gun.
isn't a deflection question for that at all, but my question is, do we know, was he supposed to actually pull the trigger in that scene?
No.
So he wasn't.
Well, it wasn't even that he wasn't supposed to do it in the scene because I don't know how the scene was supposed to play
Yeah,
out.
So we don't know that
But
information.
they weren't even pulling the trigger and stuff in this. All she was trying to do was line up the shot.
Uh-huh.
So he had no need to actually cock back and do all that stuff in this when the shot was fired.
So that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
So then we know that
they weren't rolling.
So then we know that he didn't have a reason to
He
actually
didn't
pull
have a
the
reason
trigger.
to
He
pull the
shouldn't have
trigger.
been pulling
No,
the
there was
trigger.
no reason to. He
That's
wasn't
what-
asked.
that's what
As
I was
far as I
asking,
know,
if
he
it was-
wasn't
if it
asked
was
to
a
pull the
requirement
trigger.
for what
It
they
wasn't
were
like
doing.
cock the handle back and
Right.
So
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, I was
the
just
only
trying.
people that
That's
know
why I was
are
saying
Alec
if it
and
was
a
a
few others on
requirement for
set.
what he was doing.
Right.
And now the FBI probably.
Right.
Now, if he wasn't supposed to be like actually performing the action right there,
I'm sure
Oh,
they
yeah,
got
you
the
fucked
audio and I'm sure they
Yeah.
got the camera
And
shot.
why would you have a live blank or round in a gun?
the live
for
round should have never been on set.
Listen, I'm sure they had the audio. I'm sure they had the video that we can't see or hear because they're not going to let it out. But I'm sure the FBI and whoever oversaw this and gave him this charge saw the footage.
There's body cam footage
saying,
of the cops going in.
No, not
and
even the body cam footage. I'm talking about like before the shot rang out. Like I'm talking about the actual
There's body
video.
cam footage.
I don't think the camera would have been rolling.
There's body cam footage of them.
They weren't rolling. Sometimes you roll before you know.
It just surfaced. They showed it where they went in and they showed the footage of the camera rolling when everything went down because the cops went in.
No, you're talking about body cam. He's talking about the cinema camera.
Footage. I thought they were actually shooting.
They on the body cam, you can see them watching
the clip.
monitor.
I heard that they actually had a clip of it.
They have a monitor. Yes, they have a monitor.
Okay.
Yes,
I heard.
So there is video of the shooting.
I just don't know if they released, the official video from the monitor.
You'll find it on Reddit.
You obviously can't see what's going on the monitor from the body cam.
Right. Yeah. No. I was telling you a story. I'm not going to mention names either. But I was on a set and we were doing. And this is one where I was kind of culpable, and I had that exact same fucking issue where like. I just didn't really want to speak up. We're almost done. It was in the fucking night. It was a long day and didn't really much care for the company anyway. But like we're in a bar, like this thing and ran out of prop guns. Right. So not the armor, the one of the producers who was also playing a talent says, "Hey, anybody got any guns? We need some extra guns." This is Kentucky. So literally everybody on the crew has a fucking pistol, a concealed carry. And so like 20 guns come up, you know what I mean?
Don't all raise your hands at once.
And so literally they collected the guns, and the armorer, who was actually a very good armorer, but this does call his, whole reputation into question. But he did do the right thing. If the producer's gonna say, "Hey, we're using these guns," he took them, and this guy's fucking like military big dog. He had a healthy career. Took all the guns and did that whole fucking things that special bullets flying up, catching them in the other hand, double checking, pulling them all apart, passing them all around. But then right after that, everybody on set's pointing them at each other. These are just people's guns, people's real guns. It was safe in the sense that this is a guy that knew what he was talking about, knew that they were empty, showed us they were empty.
Right.
But still, how hard is it? Because now you're all those bullets and magazines and whoever has brought them in, like those bullets and magazines, especially people that carry an extra clip, we're not accounted for. How hard would it be for one to slip back in, or somebody to, to think, "Oh, we're done with the scene. I'm gonna take my piece back, load it back up, put your shit in your," and then it's just one of those.
That should have been one of them situations where if you're gonna do something like that, which you shouldn't,
right?
But if you do, you need to keep a count of every round.
Absolutely,
100%
for every single firearm.
When you do, when you
so if my gun or if my pistol had 12 rounds plus one in the chamber, you need to make sure that all 13 of my rounds are accounted for, and you need to do that for every single firearm.
Which should also require like searching people to find out whether they have extra clips.
And that's perfectly fine.
Technically, if none of us should have had a gun on set.
Exactly, that part.
None of us should have had a gun on set.
There are times
how are you gonna stop that? Again,
but
people are gonna fucking
use
protect
real
themselves.
guns. That's actually what happened in Rust. They use real guns.
Yeah,
and it happens on more sets than you would think because they want the authenticity. They don't want to use a blank gun because a blank gun from a real gun, so they want to use the real stuff.
Right.
I'm in full belief of a live firearm on any set. Firing pin needs to be removed.
It's just not necessary anymore to have a live firearm.
So once you do that, once you remove that fire pin,
you should be able to make any of them firing like them guns a prop gun. There's no
you can
reason
see
you
like
can't.
An inch into the barrel, you could have a piece of fucking lead welded in halfway down, no firing pin. Like, there's no way this gun is going to shoot. It's all digital CGI effects.
Yeah. You could do it all CGI now. But you don't need a blank firing gun.
The technology is just, it's not necessary to ever have a fucking blank firing weapon.
Some of them CGI effects is...
Yeah, but that just depends on how they execute.
Come out with some of those Tubi movies, and they be doing some.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're super cheap, low budget, it is probably more efficient to use a real gun.
They fired a gun 3 times.
Be safe.
Just
just be safe, y'all, because a blank firing gun still shoots out shrapnel.
Yeah,
still lets stuff
absolutely.
out.
And that's another part with the Alec thing is like at the range they were at, you would not fire a blank
even.
that
Because-
close
right.
to anyone.
The shrapnel is
yeah,
bad.
there is shrapnel
Yeah.
in them, and it is a fucking explosion happening.
Yes.
Yeah, you still have
you
combustion no
can get
matter
hurt
what.
from a blank.
Yeah, there's still particles that fly out
Yeah.
that can still get you.
So I mean, hey, I think good for Alec getting charged, and I don't think he intentionally murdered anybody. I think the armorer, on the other hand, I mean, from the industry end, not the legal end, not the Second Amendment end, but from like my business, that's the person that fucked me if I'm the producer. I'm
Right.
like, fuck you, what have you done?
You're going to be
But
pretty
hey,
mad.
So the news is, though, they've settled with her husband, and the movie's still coming out.
No way.
That's the last I heard. I believe that is true. I think the movie is
I think
actually
they
going
continued
to come out.
They
Wow.
continued shooting.
Wow.
Well, I think they shut down the shooting. I think they've just now.
That's what I'm saying. They have
Yeah.
continued shooting.
Wow,
I didn't
that's-
mean like immediately. But
I mean, she, that was her last project. Overall,
It's like a legacy thing now.
Yeah, I
right?
think overall she would probably want it still to come
But
out.
surely,
Mhm.
Alec Baldwin's going to be like, I can't accept a single dollar. It
No.
all goes to her.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
Like
all
every
proceeds go to her,
proceed goes
right.
to like her fund for set safety and training
Right.
armorers better.
I think
Yeah.
that would be the best thing, the ideal thing to do at that moment, But as a cinematographer, I know every project that you work on, you want to see it. That's a part of being a cinematographer. Like you want to see your work. I know
Yep.
that's
So
That's-
that is correct. Rust makes early plans to restart production in California, planning to not return to New Mexico. They're going to finish it in California, so they're getting back into it this year, January 2020. They're already doing it right now as we speak.
oh, see.
They're filming it.
I don't think I want to go.
Wouldn't want to be the cinematographer down there.
I don't think I want to go be on that set.
Oh man.
Yep.
He's something else.
I guess Alec Baldwin has to get time off of set to go to court,
Oh,
and
man.
come back.
Mm-mm-mm. So,
That's happened though in Hollywood though. Like this ain't the first time.
No,
Yeah.
I mean Brandon Lee, yeah, and there was another famous
It
one.
was.
I can't remember. Brandon Lee's the most famous one.
But Brandon Lee, yeah, that was
But
another.
there's been a couple. There's
There
been
has.
a couple of live rounds. There's also been situations where blank shrapnel has seriously injured people. But I mean,
yeah. So,
again, if you're doing it right, if you're not pointing the gun at someone, you fire a blank or whatever, and they get injured, you're not
So,
going to be an Alec
right.
Baldwin
No,
situation.
you're
You
not.
did everything correctly. You didn't point a gun at anybody.
and they get injured, that's just literally out of your reach, and it's an accident. at that
accidents
point.
happen.
100%.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. What were you saying now?
So, since we're on the topic of murder, Tyre Nichols,
Tyre Nichols. Yeah,
young
that's
It's a
black
fucking
man
tragic
that
situation.
was Memphis, right?
beaten
Another in a long line.
by
Police.
what was it? 7 cops?
Yes.
Something like that.
I thought it was 5. I think it's 5.
Is it 5?
there
They
were
just
5,
keep.
yeah.
I see new
There were
articles.
5
I don't
that
know
were
what's
that were
5
immediately arrested
Okay.
and fired.
5 officers.
Yeah, and then there was another one that
What police department was that? Anybody know?
fucking know.
Just what
don't
was it?
know.
Metro
The Memphis, I guess, just
Memphis
Memphis
Police
Metro
Department.
PD.
Maybe
Yeah,
Memphis Metro.
but it
I
was
don't
a
know.
special unit that got called in. So there was one guy that pulled that, I guess, first on the scene, chased him a bit, pepper sprayed him. He was getting away, so he had to turn back to go back to attend to the scene. Called in this other unit,
Mhm.
which I think they call the Scorpion unit.
Yeah, the Scorpion unit.
Yeah, which was like one of those not special tactics
Right,
necessarily,
they're
but one of those escalated like
force and
Yeah.
stuff.
drug task
Like
force,
they're-
like more
right,
violent, a
yeah.
little more violent,
More violent
Yeah.
cops. Yeah.
and yeah, apparently just
He was
they
like at one point
literally beat this dude to death.
literally
for
was screaming
no
for his
fucking
mom.
reason.
He was
Yeah.
screaming for his
Yeah.
mom, and then
Like-
they pepper sprayed him.
Yep.
I can't
Yeah.
tell you how
Pepper
many
sprayed him,
times.
tased him
and
half a
then
dozen times, beat
literally,
him to death.
literally like Mike Tyson slugged this man while he was handcuffed.
suffered. He suffered
Yeah.
so bad. Like
And
suffered.
then I just seen something today. I got to find out if it was 100% true, but supposedly one of the officers involved, evidently something with one of his girlfriends or ex-girlfriends.
See, I've heard
I don't
this
know.
rumor.
And
That
I
he
don't know if
fucked
that's
somebody's
and she
wife.
like worked at
Tyree were-
FedEx or something. I've
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there any has that been debunked or
I
is
don't
that
know if
just
it's
a
been
debunked.
pure
I don't know
rumor
yet.
at this point?
I don't know if it's a rumor. I really don't. I've seen the article though. I just don't know if it's
Have
been
you seen?
debunked.
Have y'all seen the video?
I've seen portions of it.
I've seen parts of it. It's hard to watch.
I used to sit there and watch that shit.
It's hard to watch.
Nowadays, I'm like, I don't really. I already know what happened. I can see what happens
like
here.
From the article of what they read, it's it's very
it's heart wrenching.
Watching it is even harder.
Right. And then one of the fucking
kind of
cops,
like what's the guy? The last was it George Floyd that was screaming for his mama? When they start crying for their mama,
it's come on, man. He's
not trying to kill you. You're not being threatened.
Literally crying for his mom. Like
he's not being a badass. He's not about to try to shoot you.
Nobody's doing that.
Fucking scared for.
You turn around and one of the police officers or whatever we want to call them at this point,
fucking murderers, convicts,
turn around and this is
biggest gang in the world.
They've got this on the video, but he turns around and he's like, "That shit was fun."
Yeah.
Like what? Right.
Taking another man's life was fun. Now, granted, you didn't know you took another man's life yet, but you did.
Yeah, and the other guy, the cop that was I think he was the white guy.
And then the chief came out and said that there was no footage or any proof of that he was doing any type of reckless driving.
Well, when he called for backup, he says, this is I think the white guy that he wasn't involved in the beating. He called the Scorpion unit though, and he's like, I hope they beat his ass.
What?
Wow. That's on camera as well, or on the radio, whatever recording.
Radio call.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a lot of animosity. Like, why would you say some shit? Like, again, professional shit. I was in the Marine Corps. You were in the Navy.
Right.
Like, there's just certain.
I was in the streets.
You can be who you want to be off when you're fucking around and drinking and you're not in your fucking uniform. But like when you're being a professional, that's the most important thing you can possibly do.
Especially being a public official.
Yeah. When you're a public, and you're supposed to be caring for the people first foremost. You're a servant to the public. You're supposed to care for their safety. Yeah. Back to safety.
Whatever happens to protect and serve.
Public safety.
They don't follow protect and serve.
That's what you're there for. The safety of the public. I know you want to be guns blazing and balls to the wall, but that's not the way you handle things. It's not.
The police department is not the place for you to be fucking Rambo.
No. None of these guys should have ever been cops.
No. At all.
The first thing, safety.
The way that they were talking about the way the incident happened was
like they pick you up off the street like you were thugs, and then they just like put a badge on you or like, hey, go get your own people.
I feel like they're just settling at this point because like not everybody's signing up to be a cop. I feel like nowadays the police departments are settling for just what they can get.
Yeah, so you got fucking Megan Halls out here getting trains ran on them in the police department.
Before you'd have like,
there used to be a pride associated with being an officer. And I think it might be kind of the whiplash of kind of this whole no justice, no peace, kind of like defund the police thing, which is like really made it unpopular to be a cop.
Of course.
So all of like the good people that really did care, that were like, I just wanted to be a police officer. My dad was a cop. I want to get out there and help.
They're
like, I'm not going to deal with this fucking I'm not going to be fucking attacked because like I'm out here serving. So you get a bunch of fucking pricks that are like, give me a gun and let me go fucking.
That's what I'm saying. The bullies in like high school or whatever that they want to be balls to the wall, gun ho. They join and they take advantage of that badge. And it sucks. Like, because you can have good cops, but then you have
absolutely.
I've got family in law enforcement.
I got friends and family that are also good cops,
and they wouldn't stand up for that shit.
Not at all.
There's the cops that the mob love.
Yes.
I mean,
there's
to this day,
it's like you walk into a store, right, and you meet somebody who's like the face of Walmart or a face of, not want to use like a store name, but like a Walmart or a Supercenter or whatever. And they give you a bad like time. They just give you a hard time for no reason because customers come first. Like safety comes first to police officers. When you go into these Supercenters, customers come first. Your patrons on the street, they come first. So you go into this place and you're hoping for customer service. You're hoping for a good time just to get what you need so you can keep going. But instead you get bullshit. You get treated like shit, like you shouldn't even be here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the same thing when, it's a lot more worse when you're facing a police officer.
They got a gun, a taser.
Right.
They can arrest you.
But they're afraid of us when they pull us over.
Of course. Right. Yeah, they're fucking pussies. They're bullies.
Right.
You hit them once and they're gone. But these guys aren't, because they'll tase you and kill you and beat you to death.
I watch a lot of, I don't know if y'all ever checked them out, but like First Amendment audits.
Are they the guys that have the camera and are kind of telling you they preach their amendments?
Yes.
And all? Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the episode in the post office. When he was in the post office, they're like, you can't film in here and you can't.
Yes, you absolutely can.
It's a government spot.
Okay, yeah. I've seen, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I can do what I want.
There was one guy that I watched that does that, and he happened to have gotten pulled over. And I forgot what exactly the situation was was going on, but the cop, like when he walked up, he was just on 10 off top.
Mm-hmm.
And the way, like everything that happened, and then the cop's response was, well, first and foremost, officer safety is paramount.
Yeah, right. That's just
what?
That's my license to kill.
Yeah.
My safety is in danger because I'm a fucking pussy, and if you fucking tap me, I might die.
Raise your voice too loud.
Yeah, you raise your voice. You know,
now,
I'm socially sensitive.
I'm butting my gun because you raise your voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna unclip it and just kind of put my hand on my hip.
If you're that afraid on a fucking traffic stop, you shouldn't be a cop.
No, if you're afraid, you shouldn't be a cop. No, I'm just saying you shouldn't.
As a Marine, if they'd have said, Clay, you're going to deployment, you'd been like, nah. They'd have been like, well, you joined the wrong fucking brand for that, didn't you?
Like, God damn it, where am I going? Yeah, but I mean, dude, in the military too, like there's, you know, and I wish that cops went through the same level of vetting. And, you know, background, you have to get a waiver for a fucking tattoo, you know, like there's so many hurdles you have to jump through. You know, but like there's still bad apples in the military, you know, especially when they get, you know, in the shit and there's no real accountability.
Some of them don't even know they're the bad apple.
Yeah, they don't know.
That's the truth.
Yeah, especially in that fucking environment when you're surrounded by fucking crazy, everybody's killing each other, and especially in the military where you're in different cultures where like they're raping children and all that kind of shit. Yeah, it's like there's no rules here. I'm the good guy just because, you know, I'm fucking not that.
Right.
But like the police, that's just, it's just it's, you know, no matter what system you implement to get good cops, there's always going to be a bad apple. That's going to happen.
And it used to be a race thing with
but how
police,
do you get 5 bad apples in one gang beating somebody to death by accident?
And that's police, no police, whatever. That was a straight up like slaughter. Like they straight up
they should go to fucking prison.
Straight up murdered
for the rest
of
their fucking lives.
Yeah,
absolutely not death penalty for these guys.
Was straight up murdered.
Yeah, 5 cops in prison for the rest of their lives.
Was crying.
He was unconscious, leaning up against a vehicle, and all they did was yank him to set him up.
Yeah.
Like how are you?
And then casually waited for somebody to come save his life.
How are you fighting at that point? You're crying for your mom.
Yeah, that's
like that part.
Like who does that and then like fucking like cold cocks you with an elbow?
Yeah. Like at that point, I was just like, right. Like how do you even it's
the ultimate white flag.
Yeah, there's no other surrender at that point.
Like if you have a grown man crying for his mama, he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, he knows he's about to die.
Of course. You're crying, you're like that's it. That's like the last line
like your mama's like that's like
that's like the last line of it. To me, that was where I saw it and I was like, wow. They've done it. Like they've overdone it at this point. When I saw that, I was like, ugh. It
so
really
and it's becoming almost more of a systemic problem, spreading even more into outside of police. Because just recently I think it was over in Illinois, where 2 paramedics showed up to help a mentally disturbed, I want to say 35-year-old black man. Now, when the police got there, he was going through it.
Was he like on the street or like in public?
he was in his house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was like, he was going through like a mental breakdown.
Okay.
He was claiming that people were trying to break in
episode or some
people
shit,
were trying to break into his house and stuff like that. So when they called the EMTs to try to take him to the hospital and everything like that, his body, he was just limp. He was pure dead weight.
Right.
So they were trying to get him onto the gurney and he wasn't helping them, I guess, as they want to call it. He was just, kind of dead weight. So they like threw the upper part of his body on
compliant.
Pretty much. And they just like tossed like the upper half of his body on the gurney and it was like, Mr. Such and such, we need you to get up. We need you to get up. And he was just like laying there.
Yeah, like dead.
So they ended up like they just grabbed him and threw him up on there. They threw him and put him on the gurney on his stomach. And then strapped him down.
Suffocated.
Oh shit!
Covered him in blankets, and they transported him to the hospital like that. And he suffocated on the way there.
It's just like training. Like where the fuck happened to like training people like basics of your job?
You're laying somebody on their stomach when they're already unresponsive.
Down. Right?
How like. Where's your
just like
common
compress
sense?
You into your fucking
common sense as a human would tell you that's not the right thing to do. I'm just saying.
I might be reaching for a little bit on this. Y'all tell me if I am. But I believe that not only the EMTs that did it should be charged, but the officers that were there that watched them load them onto the gurney and didn't say, hey, you might be doing that wrong.
I'd give them a pass on that. Because we
pass?
already know how fucking stupid the cops are anyway. Like I don't know. Like, how would they really know whether or not? Like because I see.
We haven't worked in law enforcement.
I know, and I'm not a paramedic. It makes sense to me.
You do need to know EMT,
like basic levels of first aid.
You do need to.
You have
to EMT training.
You're right. You have
to
go.
We had to do that in the military. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so you should know.
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah. I mean, I know, and I don't remember being trained in that. It's just common. That's common sense.
Common sense.
You don't
to lay somebody who's not conscious
down
on their stomach.
Yeah,
you just don't do that. Usually, them on their side or their back.
Not only that, because you can strap and their stomach can breathe,
and then you cover them in blankets.
I was told either the side or the back when you can't breathe. Not ever. Well, the back I heard it's bad too, but it's better than your stomach with your face on the.
Yeah, because the straps allow you to breathe.
Put blankets over top of it.
Right?
Though.
No, it's it's
not
absurd.
blankets.
That's absurd.
Right. That is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That was in Illinois.
I want to say it was like Illinois or
I don't know exactly
like
where,
that,
but I've heard it too.
It was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I heard it. I just didn't know exactly where.
Negligence, I guess.
It's definitely
absolutely
incompetent negligence.
I'm pretty sure those EMTs were charged.
Aggravated incompetent negligence.
Lack of training. I don't know what you want to call that, but
negligence.
Yeah, no, I think they should be charged.
Definitely not people carrying at that point. You're not people carrying.
I mean, unless was he? Depending on was he already dead?
No.
Dying? No, he was alive.
He was.
Yeah, I mean that's.
He was like. You could tell he was awake, but he was just
like irresponsible.
He was in like a fentanyl coma. He was in that zombie state.
Incoherent. So
that's crazy.
Whatever point of mental state that you have to be where you think that people are breaking into your house. That's where he was at.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's weird, man. It's like how do you? The whole point of being able to call the cops or the paramedics is to save your fucking ass from some nightmare, and like they come and kill you,
killing you, right?
They strap you down and you suffocate.
Right. That's like if you get shot
on the way to the hospital,
and they take the long way to the hospital.
How did they not revive him? How did they not know? Were they not like in the back of the ambulance? They weren't checking his vitals.
That's what I was thinking.
They weren't. They didn't know when he flatlined and said, "Hey, we got to resuscitate this guy."
Right. Yeah.
Nobody sat in the back. I don't.
How does it make any sense? That's weird. Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it. But
I heard the story. I just didn't know all the specs.
I'd want to know some. I want to know some details, like how exactly that happened. How did he die? I definitely
heard the whole face down, being strapped to the dirt. I heard that. Yeah,
but how do you get in the back of the ambulance and not have you? They monitor your. The first thing they do is they strap you to shit.
They strapped him and loaded him into the gurney.
I can see your blood pressure. I know your fucking heartbeat.
To know your oxygen's going. Yeah, like what's up?
They didn't do nothing. They loaded him up, and evidently both EMTs hopped into the front of the vehicle and
let them
took a ride through the
stopped at White Castle on the way to the hospital and got a fucking bunch of sliders.
Had a 44-ounce got
a number 4 with extra cheese. Yeah,
enjoying the view. And this whole time, poor patient in the back just suffocating.
Yeah, man, we got to do a better job with the fucking emergency services.
Yeah,
it's granting more credibility to the defund the police thing. Yeah. It's like if we can't stop killing people over stupid shit, then I'd rather not have somebody that I call to help me. I'd rather just take care of my own problems.
Exactly. At that point, police
or die in my own fucking. I don't want you to come kill me.
Because if I police my own things and try to take care of it, at that point, at least I have a fighting chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at this point, it seems like
I carry my weapon.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fuck. I don't need the police unless shit's gotten really bad.
Yeah.
Or I need to file a police report. But hey, at some point maybe you'll get killed for that too. Somebody steals your shit and you're like, I'm gonna fucking for insurance. I gotta have a police report. So let me call some fucking asshole out here to do nothing.
Come out here and write paperwork.
To write paperwork so I can file my claim. And then he fucking shoots me in my head. He gets uncomfortable when he comes in. He sees that I'm jittery.
Yeah. He felt threatened.
Yeah. In my house, he was threatened.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a gun.
Yeah. He's got a gun, and I do too. And so he's looking at me like, "What is this fucking plebe doing with a gun? What is he doing with a fucking deadly weapon?" I'm feeling really nervous right now. This isn't right. I have a holster and a little button.
I don't know if you guys heard it.
He doesn't have a button. It's just in his waistband. I need to unclip my button just in case, he goes for that thing.
Where a SWAT team.
That's my hand on my hip.
I just seen a video where a SWAT team busted in some dude's trailer I don't know if it was down in Florida or what, but
Probably if it was
somebody like
West Virginia.
somebody like
West
called,
Virginia's fucked
somebody
up.
called in and said that he had like threatened him
I don't know
with
if
a
it's the
gun or
part I was
something,
in, but
and he hadn't.
it's
Well,
fucked
they
up.
came through and they sent a robot drone in his house. So they shot a wooden bullet, broke the window,
Right.
and then tossed one of the like
Yeah,
like
the little
Rainbow
robot.
Six
The-
Siege
Oh, little
Yeah.
wheel
rolling drones.
Yeah.
And it had the light on it, and it rolls into their bedroom, and dude's like, "What the fuck?
We're just fucking
What-
in here.
what the
yeah.
fuck? No, they were full on knocked out. And his light just comes on. They're like, what the fuck? So he grabs the drone. He's like, what the
What
fuck?
the fuck
So
is this?
he goes to the door holding the drone like this. And they just
Oh,
started.
that's threatening right there.
They fired on his ass.
Damn,
Like
Oh.
seven
what is
shots.
that in your hand? Blam, blam, blam.
that's
And
Good
this is y'all,
gracious.
and this is y'all shit. This is
yeah. I'm just returning
Yeah.
your shit.
like,
You know,
Don't shoot me.
yeah.
and then
I guess don't be black and don't live in trailers is
It was-
the
this
moral
was
of the police
this
story.
was,
these days.
this was a white
Like,
guy.
was a
Yeah, of
white guy.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't live in a trailer. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
don't live in a trailer.
Yeah,
No,
get
but-
you a nice house.
Or they'll
And-
come in and,
and-
put Rainbow Six
Yeah,
Siege
put
robots
like a
in
little,
your
a
front
little
door.
mat, you know, for
That's-
every season. That you know, it's like hey, welcome home.
That's crazy,
You know,
man.
otherwise they're gonna come and they're gonna fucking murder you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Why? Because they can
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because what are you gonna do?
die.
The fuck are you gonna do?
Die.
Yeah, die. And if you shoot back, you're gonna
Since
die.
we're talking about police. Did you hear that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are coming out with Bad Boys 4?
We briefly hit that last night, and that's the first I've heard of it.
So how do you guys feel about
I'm
this?
trying to get on it. What you talking about?
Trying to get on
I'll
it, too.
watch it. I'll watch
Bad
it.
Boys producers.
I'll take
Uh,
another
you got-
21
you
Jump
got-
Street while they're at it. You know,
You got some talented actors down here. Looking.
I mean, you got a Philly actor here too, Will Smith. So just know, you know.
Hey.
well, they're filming it here.
Oh, I don't know.
No, hell no.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll get way more
Miami for
excited if they
sure.
bring.
I think it's gonna
bring
be
in
shoot
some
Bad
bitch.
Boys
Come
up
on
here.
down.
Miami. It's gonna definitely be in Miami.
Like Miami or
Yeah,
We're on like
Miami.
some set probably in
Mexico or like the
something.
Bahamas or
They,
something.
got might
good,
shoot it
they
on
still
the
have
set.
good cocaine in
Yeah.
Miami though.
yeah, so invite us. I would even be happy just to be on set. So like,
Right. I'll
yeah.
just be a background. Like,
I don't care if I gotta carry a bunch of fucking wires or something. Just bring me
Go
on.
down there.
Bad
be a
Boys
gaffer.
4. I mean, it's the fourth. They're probably just hiring locals.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, anybody in Miami that knows anything, any inside
Anybody got a place
scoop,
for us to come stay while
Yeah.
we get on this set?
Yeah.
I'll stay in Miami. We'll have
Yeah.
fun. We'll do our podcast in your living room.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
go to Miami.
Let's go to Miami.
Oh,
Welcome
Well,
to Miami.
You houses for the
Kentucky
time.
has the worst coke in the
Well,
world.
you
It's
don't- you
fucking
don't
worst
know
coke.
that.
You houses for their time on set. You know, we'll feed you plenty of bourbon and
Yeah.
and marijuanas.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Scratch your back, you scratch my back.
What I do. You know,
That's
just
what I
don't cut
do.
my arms off
Right.
with a chainsaw in the,
You
in
want
the
me to come
shower.
in? We start all over again?
Yeah.
You mind leaving
Yeah.
the door open so that my friend Alex here knows what's
Oh,
going
I
on?
love immigrants. They're my favorite people. I can't wait.
Hey, Chichi, get the yayo.
They have the best
Last
candy.
time I was in Miami, they thought I was like Cuban, like dead ass, and like got mad at me because I didn't speak Spanish.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
because you're like a cultural traitor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
walked into KFC and like back then we had the cheese sliders still, and they were looking at me
weren't-
crazy as
yeah,
fuck
like,
when
what
I
the
didn't say it in
fuck,
Spanish. You don't speak your language? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm from Kentucky.
Not from here.
I'm not from around here.
Not from around these parts. I'm not from around these parts.
I ain't from Miami.
Yeah.
Cuba.
Yeah, like I came over here in a boat.
This ain't my neck of the woods.
I came down here. What we drove down there? I think we drove down in a Lincoln.
Yeah, I used to drive a Lincoln around.
Like an old Lincoln
Those
town
old Lincoln
car.
town cars. Yeah, yeah. Dude, we killed so many stop signs and shit with that thing.
Hey,
Rag that out.
you can't
Destroyed
ride
that
better than a
vehicle.
Lincoln on the highway though.
Nah, dude, it's like a
Nah.
boat.
That is the highway
just takes
roller.
all the just like.
How do you think that that film with De Niro, Wise Guys? How do you think it's gonna be? They say I think it's based on the book Wise Guys. I wonder.
Who's the director
I'm not entirely sure.
or writer?
I think Nicholas Pileggi was the one that wrote Wise
Yeah.
Guys. I don't know who wrote the script, like screenplay, but I mean, if it's anything like the book, I don't know if you read the book.
No, I didn't. No.
No, the book was really good. It was Goodfellas was loosely based on it, but that was shot not too far from here. That's why I'm bringing it up. It was
I mean,
shot-
I'll give De Niro a shot. You know.
yeah,
I'm kind of like on the fence with De Niro these days, but I mean, hey,
right,
it's like a Joe Pesci movie. What am I gonna do? Not go watch it?
right. It's,
So,
you're
yeah.
gonna give it some type
Give
of
it a shot.
eye time and see how it goes.
I'll
Yeah,
give it a chance.
I agree.
Um,
So, did you watch Black Panther 2 yet?
No, but
Wakanda
I've heard
forever.
everyone talk
Yeah,
about
I
it,
heard
and I
great
have
things.
lots of opinions having never seen it.
Well, since it just released, we need you to watch it so we can talk about it.
I have
as
to
a
watch it
topic.
too because
All right.
I was
Let's watch it and do another podcast.
Yeah, I worked 2 jobs at the time it was out, so I really didn't have time to
Yeah.
go or do
Yeah, but I have
anything.
strong opinions
It's-
that I blabber around to people that as though I've watched it.
I'm not
but I
going to
never
spoil
have.
it, but I will say it was just a really good
this one's,
fucking movie.
I've seen
I heard
spoilers.
it was really good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I saw a couple spoilers. So
Oh, I avoided all spoilers. And like everything was brand new to me when I watched it yesterday.
I didn't like the first one.
I did.
I didn't like
loved
the
it.
first one.
first one was
It was all right. It was a
I loved
Marvel
it.
movie,
It was a
but
Marvel
I
movie.
kind of put them all in one bag. It's like Marvel. I just
See,
I
I've
love
been,
Michael B.
I've
Jordan,
been
though.
a Chadwick fan.
I'm a fan
for
of
a
Mike.
while.
I'm
Yeah.
a fan of Michael
like
B. Jordan
42.
too.
Like
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah,
Oh, Chadwick. Yeah, Chadwick fucking Boseman. Come
yeah,
on.
yeah,
There's no. Yeah, he's. Come on now.
yeah.
He
I'll
played
give it a
Jackie
shot.
Robinson, didn't he?
that's what I said. 42.
Yeah, like
so our homework this week is to go home and watch Black Panther 2 so we can talk about it. Hopefully, I'll probably just maintain my opinions, even if because I just
nah, we want your opinion. Clay.
yeah. Well, it's
want-
other
your
people's
opinion
opinions
matters.
amalgamated into myself.
We want your opinion.
Yeah.
It matters.
No, but I just thoroughly enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
I normally, especially being that I don't really get into sentimental beginnings, this one I was like, okay,
Mhm.
I kind of rock with that.
I heard it had a great soundtrack and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard great things.
I heard it had very very subdued racist undertones against like Mexican people. And I'll
Shit.
leave it at that because I want to watch it. I do want
wanna
to
see
see
I
it.
it.
wouldn't say it was against Mexican people. It was highlighting.
I think
it was highlighting the stuff
like,
against
like
Mexican
kind of
folk.
like racial stereotypes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I'll go into it because I want to watch it. Let me watch it because I will still tell you
Right.
what
Yeah.
I think now. And then maybe if I change my mind.
Because it's fresh on my mind. I'm sitting there like, no,
but it's symbolic. It's more symbolic.
How do you
stuff.
feel about
because I'm very like into like ancient culture, Incans, Aztecs, Mayans,
okay.
things
Yeah.
like that, and it touches a lot of that more than I think it touches on like a Mexican tone where it could be considered racist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People watch shit and they come away
They
with
interpret
whatever
that,
they want
you're gonna interpret
sort of
things the
come
way
out
you
with.
want
Yeah,
to.
but I've heard like crossing
y'all
rivers
seen,
and people with shiny wetbacks and being killed with water.
Have y'all seen Megan yet?
But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe that's not plot points.
Megan?
Megan,
the chick from down in Tennessee, the cop.
No. The movie
Oh no,
by was it
Megan
James
Merkel?
Wan? No, Megan. It's supposed to be an AI doll
No,
that kills. Like she literally is vicious, bro.
this a movie.
Yes, it's made by the same team that does like the Conjurings and stuff like that, and it literally is loosely
the
based on
Conjurings.
a AI doll that literally goes berserk. She looks like a little girl, like an American Me doll,
Alita
like
Battle Angel.
one that looks just like you.
Battle Angel.
And she kind of has like the same like I guess Chucky aspect, but like iRobot.
But
they
now,
meet,
yeah,
and
like
it's like-
Chucky was kind of dumb
Yeah.
compared to AI.
Oh, yeah, like, she's like-
Did y'all see that
Fuck you
stupid
up.
ass Chucky remake?
Oh no!
Which
Where
one?
he
The
was-
series
Where
or
he,
the?
no,
Dude.
the damn movie where
When
he
I
was,
see a
where
trailer,
he was a damn Tamagotchi,
Wanna play? And it looked like real, yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
like a
I've
whole
seen
bunch
clips.
of. It was like a
I've watched
virus
some
through the
clips.
store and shit. That was the dumbest damn shit.
Wasn't it called My Buddy with like an eye and like the Wi-Fi symbol or something like that?
No.
My
It
It was
Buddy.
like I Chucky or something. I don't.
It was
fucking-
My Buddy or something.
I watched clips of movies that I don't
I
actually want to
watched that
see.
thinking it might be like a new age, like
Terrible.
dope
Yeah.
Chucky, and I was just like,
I could have told you,
what
having
in
never
the-
seen it
what in
myself.
the, y'all trying to make a horror version of Toy Story?
Y'all should check
Yeah.
out Megan though.
It was
if you
like
haven't
Chucky
seen
was
it.
never scary, right? I mean, it's kind of like Leprechaun.
Most of those
I mean,
movies
when we were
never scared me
when we were
as a kid.
6 years old.
You wouldn't go in
It's
like
scary.
a basement because like Leprechaun,
right,
but like
right.
once you got a
But
little,
I was
now-
never afraid of shit
No.
like
Like
that.
Leprechaun's a comedy.
no, he is
Chucky's to me is a comedy.
The only thing that kept me
As
out of
an adult,
basements
he's a comedy
Yeah.
for sure.
was Sleepy Hollow. I don't know why that movie scared the
Sleepy
shit out of
Hollow
me.
did really. No, I don't. I was kind of
And I'm a
ambivalent
huge
about
Johnny
that
Depp
one.
fan too. So
Yeah, the Sleepy
Yeah.
Hollow didn't really do it
That
for
one
me,
didn't
man.
do much for me
I
at
think it
all.
was-
that's
it-
the only thing.
it
That
got
and
me-
the little scene from Signs where
Exorcist
the
got
alien
me.
walks from the bushes.
Yeah.
I
Signs was
know
good.
that scene is coming every time, and it still scares me.
Signs was
Exorcist got me
Exorcist.
when I
Oh,
was a
really?
kid. The scene when
Really?
she ran down the steps, that part got me backwards. I don't know.
As a kid?
As a kid. Not
Okay,
now.
as a kid,
Not
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Now I can watch it
I
and
wasn't
laugh.
allowed to watch Exorcist, and there were a
Yeah,
lot
I
of things I
watched
weren't allowed to watch, so it wasn't high on my list. It was like Aliens and shit.
I was
like
allowed
that.
to watch
wasn't
like
allowed to watch.
Exorcist and shit, but like I couldn't watch scary movies, so I was confused as shit.
Yeah,
It
I'd
was
say like
another
the
one.
TNT version or like the made for TV,
No,
where they would cut out all the real terrible shit.
I was
but-
told to change the channel if scary
Yeah.
movie came
You know,
on.
it's
Yeah.
a creepy movie though. You
And
probably
it was
don't even
scary
know
movies.
it.
Yeah,
I don't think you
Fucking-
guys know it.
Marlon Wayans.
It was called Milo. I
never
don't know
heard
if you
of
ever
it.
saw it.
Never heard of it.
Milo.
I know Milo's tea, like at the
No,
grocery
Milo
store.
was about this little boy. He rode like a bike and he was supposedly dead. He rode like an old beach cruiser. It was like rusted out. It had like cards on the spokes. He wore like a raincoat, kind of like Georgie from It.
from it. Yeah.
And like he like grew up with these kids, but he never actually grew up because he died apparently, and his dad kept him alive. It was like some weird science experiment, and like they grew up as adults now, and he comes back to get revenge on how like they treated him like an outcast when he was a kid.
okay. So you're
Does his
you're kind of rooting for him to be a serial killer
In a way,
You
but then
kinda-
you're creeped out by him because he has like this whole
Does his
like
bike sound like Debo's
it's
when
like
he rolls up?
you know how like you hear the spokes like shh. It's kind of like that, but you hear the spokes going with the cards. You know
Oh,
that.
I remember that sound
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, that sound you hear that. It's kind of it's very.
We used to run over.
Yeah.
We used to run
It's
over
called
cans
Milo.
and get them.
That's what I watched as a kid, and
Yep.
it creeped me the hell out. Like
Ride down the
raincoats,
street with
yeah.
your bicycle with your cards on the spokes.
Yeah.
Throw a pair of Converse All Stars over the
Yeah.
fucking power line, and then head to the fucking convenience store.
Sounds
that was
good.
how we spent our childhood.
Sounds good. Ours were Air Force Ones, and we threw them on the power line.
Yes,
Air Force
my Lord.
Jordans or
Dude,
something
you know how
that we
motherfuckers
messed
crawling
up.
there
We
like a
see-
squirrel trying to get those motherfuckers.
Oh,
off
we
of
used
there.
to, yeah, when they were messed
Yeah.
up,
Like
like
New
in
Balances
Philly,
and
them
shit.
Shoot 'em
Johns
with
got
a
messed
pellet
up.
gun.
We throw them right up. Them Johns, like as soon as they got messed up in Philly, the white forces, as soon as they get messed up, you just tie them up when you were younger, or you take
You know
somebody
how
else's
much
sneakers.
money got
Somebody
thrown
else's
up there
sneakers when you done beating
if
them
you
up.
had them these
I'm
days.
pretty sure that was originally supposed to signify a trap house.
Oh, when you beat somebody up,
Was
you
that
take
what it
their-
was? I
I'm
figured
pretty
there was
sure,
some
like-
meaning
like,
behind
if you
that.
had, like,
know?
if you
It's
had
like,
the
who does
shoes-
that?
I don't know.
You
If
My-
you had the shoes in front of your house on the power lines, you sold dope.
When I grew up,
Oh yeah.
when I grew up,
that
they,
and every white kid in the 90s
I
that
just
saw
think
like
it was-
fucking like Boys
you
in the
took
Hood or
somebody's
something with
shoes,
their
you heard?
shoes on the power lines
that was our
for
thing.
no real reason.
Yeah, that was our thing.
Yeah.
You get to
Y'all
a
got
fight,
any weed?
right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to smoke
Yeah.
weed. I'm sorry. My parents won't let me.
Our symbolism was just that we beat you up, we took your sneakers, and we threw them on the power line.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Now you
thinking-
gotta walk
go
home
get 'em,
barefooted.
bitch.
I think
Yeah.
it's happened before
Yeah.
our time. Like,
They used to do that in Philly
That
all
makes
the time.
sense. That actually makes sense. Yeah, it's like it's not yours. Nobody throws their shoe. You beat some kid
No,
up.
you
You
take
take their
some kid's
shit, throw
shoes
it up
and-
there, and be
yeah.
like, "Go get it, you fucking."
And they
bitch."
won't get it,
can't get
obviously.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
die.
can't get
And I
it.
guess you walking
Yeah.
home barefoot.
They walk home barefooted. That was the
Yeah.
point of
Go-
it. We
go
beat
ask
your
your
ass,
daddy for
and we
some
took
new
your
shoes.
nice shoes and we tossed them on the line. Or
Oh.
somebody keep them if they were your
Yeah.
size.
Dude, you know how much money
I'm
though?
pretty sure
If you
it
could have
started
had
with
all
drug
those
dealers,
shoes
though.
up on power lines and
Could've,
sell them on
I don't know.
eBay in 2023, how much fucking money you would make?
Anybody ever seen do it? That's what they did it for. Or if the sneakers were just so old, they just said, whatever. One to the streets, you know? I seen that too. So
fuck these power lines.
Fuck these power.
you see like Dunzes in the shoes in Philly, like you
You
just
go
see a
over
whole
and go
bunch.
shoe
Yeah.
shopping.
Yeah, you don't really see that around here. I
see
don't really
that a
see
lot
many
back home.
shoes on power lines.
You see a lot of RIP t-shirts on
That's because we not
poles,
wasting
too.
Yeah, we're not
shoes.
wasting fucking shit. That's what
Yeah, you
eBay's
see all
for.
types of
Yeah.
stuff back
we
home.
would just resell our shit. Somebody wants to
throw
give me
money
$2
up there and
for
just
this.
let it dangle.
Maybe that's why Philly's so
Now my
expensive.
house looks like shit because
Yeah,
I got
maybe.
shoes hanging from my power lines.
Yeah, right. We'll
So
go
we
get
just-
those motherfuckers. They had me out there in a fucking scissor truck
in
trying to
Philly,
get my shoes down.
gotta
After I
dress-
threw them up there drunk one night.
You gotta dress to the nines like every day in Philly, or you're gonna get
Oh, yeah.
tore on. Like they will bust on you.
You just
You
get
come
like
out
a
looking
smudge.
sloppy.
Dude, I do
oh.
terrible in Philly. Why did you invite me to that
Bet
place?
nobody
I'm gonna show up
busts
in like
on
a
me.
pair of
That's weird.
sweatpants
They will.
with like a
They'll be
grease
"Man,
stain.
out of here in big old shoes. They would come at
I
you
can't
hard.
help but have big old shoes. I wear a size 13.
Like they would just start coming. Like that's how they
Yeah,
are.
it's too
though.
hard to keep a pair of shoes clean. I'm
I'm just
not
saying
even
that's
getting
how it
into
is.
that.
You see people scrubbing their shoes with Dawn
No,
and
no,
water,
no,
like to make them look nice. Like that's.
No, I used to clean my Reeboks.
I mean,
I'll clean like my dress shoes.
my
or
shell
something.
tops. I used to clean my
was a
shell
kid,
tops.
you know, it's like because my parents got me one of those little things with the felt tip
shoe
on it, like a
brushes?
big
Yeah.
marker, and you would just like,
I used to-
and it just looked like you like painted white shit over it, and like you
Yeah.
could still see all the dirt and all the corners. It just looked like shit.
I used to take
was a
fucking
gimmick.
Dawn dish liquid, some water, mix it up real good, scrub my shoes, man, because I just didn't want to get bust on, you know, like I didn't want people, oh, you're poor, you're broke, like that's how literally it was. So you just be constantly one up in somebody. Oh, I got this brand new Supreme, or I got this. That's what Philly's about, just having that shit on. You know?
Then rich people go and like shop at the Goodwill,
and they don't care. Yeah, the rich people, we're probably cutting on the rich people, you know, like we're cutting on them, and they're really rich.
Yeah,
like
they're the ones making and selling the shoes,
and we're cutting on them. You know, like, you know, we're busting on them. You know what I mean? Like blah blah blah. Like, you know,
have you seen those videos?
And that's how they keep the poor people poor.
Hey,
yeah, I mean, keep them spending money on shit.
Yeah.
Keep us buying $60 t-shirts. What purpose do you have with a $60 t-shirt?
Not.
I mean, if you can't capitalize on it, I mean, some people do.
Status.
Some people get clean. They get the logos. They get the brand. They get a podcast.
That's
or
all it is.
A label, and they make something out of it. But if you're just spending money on your wardrobe and you're sitting, you know,
growing up in my
neighborhood
weed
in a house,
it was
you're just wasting your.
It was LRG. Money. It was State Property. It was Mesquite. It was, you know, it was like any of that Billionaire Boys Club, like ice cream. It was Bape when Bape came out. You know,
I got me some bathing napes.
All that was
all
like
about being clean.
You had that on, like you didn't even have to like talk to a girl. Like you didn't have to say nothing. You had you had it on. You know, you just say what's up, and that's it. You're in
with some Tommy Hilfiger.
You know, materialistic.
You pull your side. You pull your sidekick out. You know, you had that shit on it. The confidence was there, baby. Like you pull the sidekick out. You smelled like Armani.
Man.
You know, Armani Gio.
You've got your personal soundtrack on your fucking iPod.
I was a pretty little motherfucker in the military, so I didn't need all that.
Oh man!
You pull out the chirp phone. Yeah, like, those were the times. Pull out the chirp phone. Yo, where you at? You know, that was the time.
I think people in the military though, dude. In the military,
that was kind of high school.
You had those people in the military, like you could tell when they were from like the city or some shit, because they would fucking spend more time than anyone else polishing their fucking boots,
right?
And they would like roll their like perfect cuffs. And like their little laces and shit.
See, I did all that shit, but I did it fast.
Oh, you did it fast?
Because I was military.
See, I didn't have that capability.
I learned how to do it in ROTC, so I was already used to doing that shit. So like,
I skipped that ROTC thing.
My boots stayed polished. You know, my tight roll was always on point.
I'm sorry, guys. I used to try.
I was decent at the rolls, but like, you know, I mean, my arms for the first hour of the day would kind of turn purple. And then, like, eventually, I guess I would stretch them out enough to get circulation again. But I never got it perfect. There would always be, like, one little fold or
because people always try to roll it while they're wearing it.
Oh, no. We roll it, and then you put it backwards. So you have that. And then, we did that. I just sucked at it, dude. I'm just, you know, I'm not a fashion guy, you know.
See,
I wasn't fashion for us. The Navy is about attention to detail. So if you got that sleeve rolled up, that sleeve got to be rolled up neat.
I was good at starch. No, my blues and my dresses, like, you know, I could, you know, I set my pants up, they stand there, and like my hat, my
what we gotta do to pull up a picture of you in the stream?
I would take a lot of
in the podcast of you in your dress blues.
I feel like y'all had the military to keep you guys neat.
All the women would,
you know what I'm saying, and that's kind of the same thing I had with Philly. It's like
beat them off with a stick.
I've got one remaining picture of me in my dress blues.
Seriously?
Yeah, just
we got to see a picture of Clay in his blues.
We need to insert it here.
We got to see Devil Dog Clay.
Insert it. We're gonna
insert it.
Right
somewhere
here.
around here, next to Clay.
By side.
Yeah, next to Clay, like somewhere there. And we'll insert a picture over me of Alex. Like, put one here. Like,
put my Navy picture over him.
Yeah, put it over me.
We'll get Russ in his clean, in my fucking street, Philly, fucking just
my street military wear.
Just out in his Gucci and his Bapes.
Get a shot of me
looking clean.
Younger. Yeah, that you know. That they were the days, you know. Like I had Philly to keep me in line. You guys had drill sergeants. It's a little different.
Yeah,
I had RDC.
It's a big. You had
what? A drill instructor.
Yeah, see, I don't know none of that lingo, man.
Fucking
sorry,
dicks.
I'm a civilian.
The motherfuckers that
always
get
was a civilian,
and I'm never going back.
It's never military, but shout out to the military.
Being a civilian.
You know, shout out to the military.
Say
for
what
sure.
I want, dress how I want.
I wouldn't trade my military experience for the world, though.
I wouldn't either.
I got a lot of family that was military for sure. Yeah. A lot of family that's military. Shout out to the military.
Yeah, shout out to
the military.
Past, present, and future military.
Yep.
All of y'all.
Well,
I think
fun times.
How long we've been rolling now?
We're another hour. Yeah, we've done it. We've done it. We've done it again, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations,
we have
fellas.
wrapped another podcast right here in the studio.
Your mind. Yeah, we racked your
it's just
mind.
amazing.
I can
Guys,
rack your
I love
mind,
you
baby.
guys.
I love you too.
Oh.
I know what you're thinking.
Well, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe.
Hit the notification bell.
Yeah. Ding. It
And make
doesn't
sure
make
you
a
give
noise. They
us
should
about
make it a noise.
60-something shares. If you don't share us on your page.
Comment. Even if you write comment, we'll appreciate it. Just
look,
comment.
Look. That's what I want y'all to do. Go on your little phone piece.
Mm-hmm.
Your little iPhone.
Little iPhone.
Little Galaxy.
I still
Little
use
Galaxy.
a flip
Whatever
phone.
you got. If
Little
you got a
flip
flip
phone,
phone or one of them
burner
side, one of them
phone.
sidekicks,
Little burner phone.
I want you to
Little
click.
burner.
I want you to click on that little share button, right? And when you click on that,
Smash.
Go
And
to
then
the
smash
messages.
that shit with a hammer and
no,
throw it in the trash.
no. We don't want them to share it just to their pages.
Mm.
We want them to send this in a message.
Ooh.
Send this
Personalized.
in a message.
Even chop it up.
sexy.
Send
Let
clips.
them know
Send
that
clips.
you enjoyed this tonight.
Yeah.
You enjoyed
You enjoyed it. It went
You
down.
had fun.
You hung with
You
us.
dabbled in the banter.
You laughed with us.
tasted on the tip of my tongue.
And then I want you to hit send. And when you send it, I want you to send it to not only your mama, your grandmama,
Ooh.
Grandma.
your granddaddy,
Ooh.
your auntie and them,
Your auntie.
your
now.
cousin, and your fine ass baby mama.
Ooh, yo, baby mama. I can't say fine as baby mama.
throbbing.
I'm married.
But yeah, make sure y'all share
Send
it
it to
out.
all those folks.
There went fucking Universal as our sponsor. Sorry, guys. We couldn't maintain. Well, fuck you. We'll find someone else.
I fuck everything up. That's what I do. It's all good.
Thanks for the outro.
We love
Al. That
y'all.
was great.
Tune in,
That
tap
was
in,
the
whatever you want to
outro.
That
do.
was the outro.
The outro.
We'll holler at y'all next time and
Yeah.
make sure y'all come in and rack your brains.
Yep.
Rack your brains.
Yeah. Rack your brains.
Not rack the brains.
No, think of like
Rack-
Texas Chainsaw with the uncle.
Your
How he would like
brains.
itch his brain with a hanger, like racking your
Oh.
brain.
Like Hannibal Lecter. Just directly.
Fava beans. All right.
Shit,
All right, y'all.
Peace out. Until next time.